Hey everybody, this is TJR, and if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. If not, welcome back. I have to admit to being a bit surprised by this announcement and even find it a bit audacious, and I'll talk more about why I feel that way in a moment. But first, let's get to the who, what, where, when, why, and how of all of this. So I'm going to start by just reading from the official press release here. Get ready to hear Queen's self-titled debut album in a whole new way. The classic rock legend's 1973 LP, now retitled Queen 1, has been significantly revamped for a new box set coming out October 25th, which also features extensive bonus material. The 6 CD, 1 LP set contains 63 tracks. Guitarist Brian May describes Queen 1 as a brand new 2024 rebuild of the entire Queen debut album. Audio engineers Justin Shirley Smith, Joshua J., and hopefully I say this right, McCrae, and Chris, and again, my apologies if I mispronounce this, Fredrickson, have remixed and re-restored the original recordings using modern techniques and equipment to revitalize the sound of the album. All the performances are exactly as they originally appeared in 1973, but every instrument has been revisited to produce the live ambient sounds we would have liked to use originally, May explains. The result is Queen as it would have sounded with today's knowledge and technology, a first. Queen was originally recorded in mostly overnight sessions at London's Trident Studios. We'd arrive at 3 in the morning and then go on for all the hours that we could grab, explains drummer Roger Taylor. At Trident, band members clashed with studio staff on multiple fronts. For one, Queen were forced to use the studio's in-house drum kit in a sound booth rather than their own drums out in the main room. They had this very dead drum sound, and it was never the sound we wanted, Taylor says. Using artificial intelligence to warp time and space, the band will be able to replace the drum kit that was originally used back in 1973 with Roger's kit from the same era, and will be able to replace the room acoustics to what they desired back in 1973. Just making sure you're paying attention. Just kidding on that last part.
I'm just kidding.
But hey, the way things are going with AI, hey, pretty soon nothing's going to be off the table. Let's get back to the press release. In addition to the new stereo remix and remaster, Queen 1 boasts a new track list with Mad the Swine reinserted as the album's 4th song. It was originally removed from the album due to another dispute between Queen and a producer. So, a lot of big words, but basically the album is getting a new remix. Let's talk about this set here. It's a 6 CD set, and it also includes an LP. CD1, of course, is going to be this new remix. CD2 is titled Delane Leah Demos. Hopefully I've said that correctly. These are also remixes, by the way, even though they are demos. This will contain recordings of Keep Yourself Alive, The Night Comes Down, Jesus, Liar, and The Great King Rat. CD3 is entitled Queen 1 Sessions. This has alternate takes from the Trident studio sessions. CD4, Queen Backing Track, features the Queen 1 instrumental tracks minus the vocals. Now, in the past, I have always been against these, instrumental versions that are just the same song, but with the vocals brought down. However, the recent Police Synchronicity set and the Yes Fragile set have kind of changed my mind. They've swayed me. I found the instrumental tracks that were provided, the instrumental versions of the albums in these 2 sets released not too long ago, to be really enjoyable and really eye-opening. CD5 features Queen 1 at the BBC. This includes BBC radio stations from the era, including a performance on John Pill's Sounds of the 70s that marked the first ever broadcast of Queen's music. CD6 features Queen Live. This features live recordings from Queen's March 1974 concert at London's Rainbow Theatre, with a handful of previously unreleased live tracks from other gigs mixed in. Also included is an LP version of the new remix and a 108-page hardcover book. On a side note here, a 7-inch single featuring the 2024 mix of The Night Comes Down will be released on October 4th in advance of the box set, and those who purchase the digital version of the Queen 1 box set will receive The Night Comes Down immediately. So current pre-order price on this massive set is $194.99 here in the US. Now, I'm happy to state that there will also be some condensed versions of this as well. The two main and probably the most practical ones being there will be a 2 CD deluxe edition, which of course CD1 will be the remix, and CD2 will be the contents of CD3 on the box set, which is the Queen 1 sessions featuring alternate takes from the Trident Studios sessions. There will also be a single LP release of the 2024 remix. There will be no all vinyl set. There will be no all CD set. I know that is upsetting for some because I understand there are lots of people who would just rather get an all CD set. There are those who would rather just get an all vinyl set. I honestly think they should have gone with just an all CD set, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. Other configurations will also be available. Some of these configurations will include picture discs, the 7-inch single I mentioned a moment ago, a cassette release, t-shirts. There's a whole bunch of stuff on the Queen store online. You can check it all out there. There is no single CD release of just the remix. So if you want to get the remix on CD, you do have to get the 2 CD set. I mentioned the feeling of a certain level of audaciousness to this release. And here's why I feel this way. When the Beatles began their series of single album box sets, they began with what was arguably their biggest, most influential album. They did it with Sgt. Pepper. And I really think that the reasoning behind that was that who knows? Who knows if there will be enough interest for this? So they started out with what is arguably their biggest album to see how the reaction was, test the water, so to speak. Of course, the reaction was tremendous, and we've been getting a box set every single year. We did not, however, get one last year. Instead got the re-release of the Red and Blue albums. I'm really crossing my fingers and hoping that we will see that Rubber Soul box set this year coming soon, because we're getting close to when they would probably announce the release. They tend to release that at around Christmas time. So yeah, I kind of feel it's a little audacious to go with this while it's a good album. I think it's a safer bet to go with something like, say, A Night at the Opera, arguably the band's biggest record. As for myself personally, while I like Queen, the debut album, now being retitled Queen 1, I have to admit my feelings about it aren't as strong as they would be, say, for another release, like, say, Night at the Opera or Day at the Races. And I have to wonder how the rest of the world feels about this. I could see a lot more interest in this to start off with for, like I said, a more popular release than Queen 1. But who knows? Perhaps I'm wrong. Let me know how you feel about this. But I just think it's kind of audacious to go with this album. And even though I do love vinyl, I think that this should be an all CD set. Having the vinyl adds a lot of extra cost to it. Not having it, making it just a separate option, cuts down the price quite a bit. And I think that would encourage more buyers. Obviously, if this doesn't do well, they might hold back on doing future albums. If it does great, of course, I imagine they're just going to proceed with this. Oh, hard to say. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised they're starting with this versus, something else like Night at the Opera or Day at the Races or News of the World. There's certainly other releases that I think that the general public would and fans would respond with a lot more eagerness to get their hands on. Now, as for me, again, because this album doesn't hold as much relevance for me as, say, other albums, not just by Queen, but also with other box sets. Your interest depends on your relationship with that album. I was extremely interested to get the Police Synchronicity set. I think it was the perfect album to start with for their first single album set. But as for myself, I don't feel a strong impulse to pony up the cash, close to $200, to pre-order this one. Maybe pick up the vinyl record later if I really love the new remix. Maybe, maybe not. But I think I would just go with that. Unless, of course, maybe the label wants to send me a copy for review. A while back, someone said, why don't you ever ask them to send you these? And I've never really even thought about it, So maybe I'll try asking this time. What's the worst they can do? Stick their robots on me? I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to go. Otherwise, I'm just going with that 2 CD set. I just don't feel enough, how shall I say, desire to own this in a massive box set at that price. And who knows? Maybe the price will go down after a while. Maybe I'll get it then. We'll see. And of course, I feel very strongly, as with all of these releases, that they will, of course, also be simultaneously released on streaming. Every single one of these sets has gotten a streaming release. And so you can, of course, just listen to it all there. At any rate, though, those are my thoughts on this. How do you feel about it? Do you think I'm being too hard saying that this is not the right one to start with? Do you think I'm being a little too harsh with the band? I'm a big fan, but I just don't think this is the right one to start with. But again, if they do proceed in the coming years, I will be anxiously awaiting that Night at the Opera set. So far, it looks like they want to do this in chronological order, so we'll see what happens. But those are my thoughts. Let me know yours. As always, if you like these videos, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a video. And a big thank you to my Patreon supporters. Patreon supporters do receive exclusive weekly videos that are not available on this channel. If you can't be a Patreon supporter, you can leave a one-time super thanks for any video that I post, and that really helps a lot. And if you can't do that, look, I understand. You can help this channel a huge amount by just clicking like. Clicking like is free, and it really helps this channel a great deal. Mostly, though, I just want to say thank you for stopping by. I can't wait to hear what you all think of this. Let's have a conversation in the comments, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.